And good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. How was everybody's Saturday?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
That was my notification.
Yeah, I just got mine too. So that's good. I guess StreamYard and YouTube is working hand in hand today. Let's see who we've got in the room today. We've got Lisa and Mark is here. Good morning, Mark. Thank you for joining.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Mark. How are you guys today? Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, wake up tea, Lisa says. Yeah, I guess I can wake up a little better. I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't sleep last night. I was wound up, I guess, from the auction.
I did. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Michelle. I slept. I cleaned up a little bit after the auction, and I laid down and see ya. I was gone until I woke up about 6 o'clock this morning, but forced myself to stay in bed because you heard me say it. I have 16 and 17-year-olds coming to my house today with a, I don't know, 20-something foot water slide that's being delivered like any minute to my house and being set up in the backyard. And I think she invited like 20 teenagers. So and I'm cooking for them all. I mean, any normal mom would do like pizza and soda and potato chips. They all love my ziti with the fresh mozzarella cheese and basil with the homemade sauce. So after I get off of here, I need to cook for 20 teenagers. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
What time are they coming?
I think they're going to start rolling in between 2 and 3.
Ah, okay.
So thank goodness my daughters, like, they cleaned up the house. They cleaned up my eBay mess. T saw the pictures. I sent them to her. She saw the before and after pictures from all of my eBay stuff all over the place. And so the house is clean. It's ready to go. Water slide is coming.
Morning, Sandy Brown.
Good morning.
Coming in.
Some of the food is bought. I still have to go buy some of the food. And I work best under pressure. I'll get it all done. You know, they're teenagers, so they're just basically going to be like, hanging outside. But it's really, really cloudy and kind of misty today. Yeah, it's not a beautiful South Florida sunny day here, which normally it is.
Right. So good morning, Janaea. Karen's at the beach.
I haven't made lasagna in years. Adam, I haven't made lasagna for a really, really long time. Truth is, and it's kind of sad, but I'm going to share it. Lasagna was Denali's favorite dish. And every time he had chemo, we promised him, like, when we got home, I would make lasagna for him because that was his favorite food to eat, lasagna. And I haven't made a lasagna since he passed away 7 years ago. I know that's really, really sad, but that's the truth. And so, yeah, I mean, some people, like, they embrace, like, when there's a death like that, they'll like embrace like the food that the person loved, like on their birthday or their like death date or whatever. But to be honest with you, I haven't been able to make it. So anyways, T picked a subject for today, and Tiffany was going to come on with us, but she decided that she needed to get a little bit of rest this morning. So it's going to be me and T, and this was Tiffany's idea to talk about this. So I feel like we should leave this subject for a day that she can join us, but since we already kind of put it out there, right? Balancing YouTube and eBay and Facebook, and in my case, auctions, and family life. So,
well, not so much boundaries, that, but working from home.
Working from home, which is, basically, yeah, any kind of work from home business, and setting boundaries. you know, it's very, very hard, like, especially with me when I'm doing my shipping and when I'm doing my invoicing, and the interruptions that I get from just everyday life. Like a lot of the times, you know, the kids will just like ask me a simple question and I'm in the middle of doing invoicing, and, you know, you don't want to make mistakes and invoice someone for the wrong thing or ship someone the wrong thing. And, you know, just to sometimes even like a small interruption, like, did you see where my sneakers are? Can throw your mind off of what you're concentrating on. It doesn't matter if you're a stockbroker or if you're shipping out orders the way I am. An interruption is an interruption. And when you're in an office atmosphere or you're in a retail store or wherever you are working and you don't have those household interruptions, it's easier to concentrate. Like when you work at home and you have the household interruptions, it's for me, it's very, very hard. Like I find myself like yelling at the children or even sometimes my husband, like, I can't look for your keys right now, or I can't talk about the fact that, you know, this bill needs to be paid or that bill needs to be paid. Like I need to concentrate on what I'm doing right now so that I don't make mistakes, because then mistakes are very costly. You know, having to replace packing slips for someone who received something that they weren't supposed to receive, or vice versa, and or crediting people. So yeah, I mean, it's and for me, it's, you know, you have a 21-year-old son. I mean, I'm sure you have some interruptions, but it's not like my house where I have all of these younger kids running around in such an active household. So it's really hard. It's really hard to find the balance. And sometimes I wish.
I would say though it doesn't really matter, because even when I had been the trainer for Chase for years, and a lot of it involved online, like doing you know, online training with the country when, you know, we didn't have an in-person class or something. And I mean, my job was very flexible at that time, that I, you know, when I wasn't traveling, I could work from home. I didn't have to go to my office in Jersey City every single day, only when we had a new hire class. So, you know, nobody understands when you work from home. It's like everybody just thinks, oh, you're not going to work today? No, I'm working. I have a virtual. I have to prepare for my next class, you know. And, you know, my mother, it doesn't have to be children. My aunt would stop by. My mother would stop by, just seeing my car, thinking, oh, she's home. But no, I'm not really home. You know, I'm working. And that always tended to be a problem. You know, even neighbors. I mean, it's funny. We were joking about neighbors being nosy, right? I could remember a couple of times, you know, my neighbor said, oh, I know you didn't. You didn't go. You didn't go to work this week. No, I was working. You know, or yeah, they ring my. I remember one time I was on a conference call and my neighbor rang my doorbell, and I didn't answer. And she texted me, "Hey, I came by. You didn't answer the front door." I'm like, I'm working. You know. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be kids. It doesn't necessarily have to be kids. It could be anybody. And people just have to understand that, you know, you're working from home. You're working. You know, it's not just all about the fact that you're home. And that's really the wave of a lot of even corporate jobs. Like there are jobs that are work from home. And it's
I just want to welcome in a few more friends that stopped in. Karen's at the beaches here. Good morning, Karen and Frenchie. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. And Philly Picker, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. James Cisco. I have an office in the house or a place you can lock yourself into and helps. Having an office in the house or a place you can lock yourself into helps, but it's hard with everyone with kids and family around. I lock myself in my office when I'm working from home. Yeah, unfortunately, but I don't have an office that I can lock myself into. You know, I'm streaming from my dining room right now, which is, like I've said before, one big, huge open room. It's a living room, a dining room, and then the kitchen is open to it. And, you know, there's really no place else for me to, you know, I can't go and do it. All of the rooms are occupied, bedrooms are occupied, and I don't have we don't have basements, we don't have attics, and I can't do it in the bedroom because a lot of the times when I am doing my auctions or live, my husband will go into the bedroom so that the TV's not going, and there's so much activity. So good morning, Tommy. Tommy just stopped in. Guys, if you could give T a thumbs up for her channel. We're trying to grow her channel too.
Yeah, so Karen's saying people in my family don't understand the work involved in eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Amazon. They're not the only ones who don't understand. Go to a garage sale today. My husband tries, but he doesn't really understand since he's not directly involved. And I'll tell you what, Karen, since my husband got directly involved, he understands now.
Yeah.
He didn't before, but he understands now. Like, we got a return yesterday, and, there's just things that like, oh, yeah, you take the good with the bad, but when you're from the outside looking around, looking, it's not easy. And it's funny, but it comes down to like, unless you're actually doing something you don't understand,
right?
Unless you've walked in somebody's shoes per se.
I mean, if my auctions continue to grow and my channel continues to grow, I'm seriously considering, trying to find an off-site location, not only for streaming and doing auctions live, but also for my inventory, because my inventory does take over the house, and it's not fair to my husband and my kids. My husband's always complaining about it, that, there's just too much. So I don't want to just go get a storage unit. I don't want to pay for a storage facility and go try to find an office somewhere. So I'd like to find somewhere where I can move my entire new venture, new business, where I can have my inventory right there, and my office and stream live right there too, so that if I want to pick up, I can have all my lots ready around me, and if I want to pick up something like really quick and show it, or if I have like a single item, a one item that I want to sell, like I can have them all readily kind of available all around me. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to, I always tell my husband and the kids, I'm moving out. I'm moving out. And I
think too, with one of the reasons, when we move, is we're looking for that 2-car garage with an attic, so to speak, is because that's where the business is going to be. It's not going to be in my dining room. It's not going to be in my extra bedroom. I mean, I'm using 2 extra bedrooms now, my dining room. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And your garage.
And my garage. Yeah. Well, my garage is almost getting where you got an aisle to walk down.
Yeah.
That was all the books I purchased. So I can't say that's stuff that's inventory right now.
Yeah.
That stuff either is going out to Amazon or going out to the curb. My mailman, my garbage men hate me the last 3 pickups. I heard them when I was laying in bed yesterday morning say, what did she have, a library? It's the 3rd garbage day in a row. I had like 16 boxes of books out there.
Yeah, and Adam made an interesting point. The issue with that will be your utilities added to the cost, especially your business internet, which that is so true. Adam, business internet is almost double of what a residential internet is. They really, really get you on business internet as soon as you say it's for business use. It's so much more money. So yeah, there's a lot of things to consider, moving the business out of, the home, and it not be a home business anymore. But how else, coming full circle to what the topic of the day is, how else do you set boundaries, and how do you, prevent all of the interruptions? Because not only has the business like taken over the house, it's also the distractions of the, everyday, day-to-day running the business from the home is just, it's very difficult. I know that almost everybody on here is a reseller, so you guys get it. And I wish I had a basement to go to. I don't. My 2-car garage is completely full of inventory, and I share it with my husband. He's got some of his tools in there too, and then the bicycles and the surfboards and everything else that's in there. It's just, it's crazy. There's a motorcycle in there. There's, it's not just my inventory. It's the garage is just really taken over with stuff, household stuff and business stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I've often thought about approaching my neighbor, Nancy, because she has, 4 bedrooms. She's by herself. She has a 2-car garage. I mean, she does park the car in the garage, but maybe, taking over one of her large rooms and doing my live auctions out of there. But that would mean bringing all of my inventory over there. When I do my lots, it would just be another step, but maybe a step in the right direction to help me to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
Mark
for
says the living room. His son doesn't understand that I can't always play with him and that I need to work. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And let's see, Adam says, I'm looking at homes online now, almost impossible to find a decent sized rancher with a basement and a garage. Some of my stuff is very small, part of my basement, plus stuff in the garage. Plus garage has a lot of empty boxes since I am a box hoarder. Yeah, I'm a box hoarder too.
Yeah, I am too. I get yelled at from my husband all the time.
I can't go to the supermarket or any kind of store without looking from side to side, looking for boxes, because I hate to pay for boxes. So I'm always like looking for boxes. Best place for boxes is the liquor store. Mark says, I have an unattached, unheated garage. It's where I take photos, and it's getting colder now, and I have to break out the heater. Yeah, be careful with those electric heaters.
Yeah, we used to have one in our garage years ago. I won't tell you we did it because we were smoking out there. Because we wouldn't smoke in the house, but...
Yeah, you know what? Lisa said just break down the boxes and stack them. Well, in my case, I use them so quickly that it's not even worth like to break them down.
But not only that, then to me it's a waste of time going to okay, is this one gonna fit? I gotta assemble it. I gotta look. Like I can't.
I agree. It's so nice to grab them and like have one side already made, taped up, see if you can fit all the stuff in it, and then you're only taping up one end of it. So I do the same. I don't break down my boxes. I get them. I try to get them taped. And
good morning, Justin. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning, Justin. Yes,
yeah, that is an attempt to do most of the business in the basement. See, my husband's adamant about not getting a basement. He doesn't want to do stairs. He wants a true ranch, right? No stairs. Although even half the ranches we look at, they still have a stoop to go up to the house, But yeah, we'll figure it out.
Adam says, yeah, I need a box for my broken down boxes.
It's true.
If you guys ever watch Dominic, the primetime treasure hunter, in his background you can see all his boxes, and he keeps them so perfectly like lined up, like they're like perfect. He actually did a little tutorial, like what he does when he has free time, whatever that means. If somebody can explain to me what free time means, I don't know what free time is. But when he has free time, he'll go out into the garage and he'll cut bigger boxes, cut them down. He's got pieces that are cut just the right size for his comic books, pieces cut for his albums. Like he cuts them for his brochures that he sells, and he's got those all the cut down pieces nicely stacked. I'm like, who's got time for that? Like, honest to goodness. And he's a psychologist. He works full time. He sells on eBay. I don't think he sells on Amazon, but I know he sells on eBay. He has a very, very active YouTube channel that he's constantly interviewing people in. And then he runs a really big Facebook group. And he's also president of some sort of thing that he writes. He's written books and literature. She just made the announcement. The slide is coming right now. So
Philly Picker says he has 2 boys, ages 12 and 9, along with a 1-year-old daughter. Thank God my wife is a trooper, or I wouldn't get anything done. I do feel bad that she gets stuck with everything. Well, you're the breadwinner, right? You're trying to make a living, trying to support the family. Never think of it as getting stuck with anything. It's, that's what a marriage is all about. You got to work hand in hand. And there's been times in, both my husband and I's life where, he's gone to work 2 jobs and I've stayed at home and vice versa. And, he's been sick and I've had to step up to the plate. And this is one of the reasons why I started the online business too, is because we needed to supplement our income, especially now when you can't work. So, you do what you have to do and never feel bad about that she gets stuck with everything, because you're still working, as long as you're pulling your weight and you're not sitting on the couch eating bonbons, as I like to joke some people, those Long Island stay-at-home moms who are eating their bonbons and watching their soap operas while their kids at work for 6 hours because they have the cleaning lady coming in or the housekeeper in the live-in. Whole different setup today. But hey, listen, I had a live-in for years, but I still worked my butt off. Both me and my husband went to work big time every day. We had no choice because we both owned a business. But there's a big difference to be said about those things. And life changes too, right? You change and you try to be, go with it as it changes. As those kids get bigger too, things will change. You'll see. It may or may not get harder. It may get easier, it may get tougher. I don't know. When my son got older in high school and I was traveling a lot with the eBay, he did more eBay than my husband. He pulled the inventory, print the labels. All my husband had to do was just package them up and take them to the post office. So, we made it a little family thing there for a while mommy was traveling and, training the country. But the girls even brought up a point earlier about, it's hard because you try not to take over the house. And I think that's Donna and I's biggest guilt, right? We feel like we're taking over every room. Well, because our husband's also in the ear saying, hey, gonna move that shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends come over, like me personally. My friends that do come over, they know that I'm in a reselling business. We used to entertain a lot more years ago. All of my kids' friends that come over here, they're here all the time. They know I have a reselling business, so they're kind of used to it. They know, that the house looks the way it does because I have a reselling business. So,
Morning, Daddy. Yeah, and then the other thing is our business doesn't stop. Even when I worked full time, you still had to come home. You had to check messages. Maybe somebody needed a better weight on something for shipping, to calculate, to figure it out, or there was a measurement I missed on clothes that I had to pull the item and remeasure, or a measurement I didn't take, or I don't know, are there any cracks, crazings, or whatever? And I might have put that there wasn't, but now somebody's asking, I want to double check, Poshmark, they're my closet, right? There's so many other things, even when you're working a full-time job, it doesn't end. Somebody asked questions. Somebody made a comment too about jewelry. People tend to ask questions at 11 p.m. at night. No, everybody asks questions at 11 p.m. at night. I was laying in bed. Somebody on Poshmark the other night was asking about some jacket or something. I wasn't getting up and I wasn't going to my eBay closet to pull the jacket and look. I waited till the next morning. But, there are times you do stop and do those things.
just gave her a list. She's going to the supermarket. Hobby Lola. Sorry.
It's okay.
A lot going on here today. Busy. Anyway, so yeah. These don't come over to my place anymore. When they did, I put them to work. It has to cut down on some of the distractions. Off topic, be very careful when buying insurance, especially health insurance. There was up to a $12,000 difference in cost for my prescription plans for the next year. Wow.
Wow, Adam, that's a big difference.
Good morning, Gate City Picker.
Hey, Gates.
So Carol posted on, I think it was Dominic's group this morning, the kind of like sort of inconvenience apology notification from eBay to all of the members for, their major screw up that they just, they did. I just kind of read every other line. I read down through it quickly. My question is what is eBay going to do to compensate people for, all of this? I mean, why were they messing around with making changes?
I have to relook at my invoices better today, but yesterday I think I noticed on my husband's eBay store, because I'm the anchor store, but he's the one below that doesn't get a credit towards promoted listings. I think eBay gave him a credit for promoted listings because that was the first issue they had. Remember when nobody's items were shown with promoted listings? So I have to take a better look at that invoice. Let me know in the chat if anybody had, or if you're watching this afterwards, if anybody had a credit on their invoice, if you're not an anchor store, about the promoted listings. Yeah, James says it's ridiculous how long it's taking to fix it. Yeah, it's been a week and a half since the problem. Clothing seller still. Yeah, I do. I said to Donna yesterday, I said it's really not the usual flow this last week.
Which is why, not to interrupt you, which is why I'm showing less clothes at my auctions, because I think people, because of what happened, like I had to adjust my business accordingly, and which is why I'm featuring more like plush, because I'm reading like people with plush were not affected by the eBay screw up, or hard goods were not affected by the eBay screw up. So, which is why I haven't really been showing that many clothes, because I think people are gun shy about buying clothes right now because of all of this. Mentally, it's doing like a job on number, like a number, in people's minds. I think, like, I'm staying away from clothes right now because eBay screwed up so bad with all the clothing listings. But I'm finding that hard goods people were not affected by it.
Well, that's not true. That isn't true, because I went in yesterday and I, sometimes to jumpstart your store, you just go in and you hit like a bulk edit and you just submit, just to make it like you're making changes and stuff on your store. And I had like 17 item specific issues, and some of it was hard goods, heels. Now you got to make sure you have the heel height for all your shoes.
Really? It affected the shoes too?
Yeah. And then the same thing, I think, with glassware, there was something with the inches on the plates or the cups or something like that. So it's not just clothes.
I just want to say good morning to Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Hey, Carol Cedrone in the house. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, see, now I had heard that it didn't affect a lot of people that had hard goods, that it just really only affected clothing resellers.
Yeah, no, Michelle's saying even some categories like media were affected. Maybe that was even something else like books. Yeah, because you know what? Books, I know, because I did books, so many books. Remember, don't forget, I had like 5,000 books listed at one shot. That's why I was almost at 10,000 listings. But they went along and changed the specifics on books a while back and changed categories. And I think that's starting to creep up and affect people now too, because if you don't have a specific like subgenre or something chosen yet, and you have to, like if it's music and you didn't pick guitar, or I forget now what it is.
Yeah, Carol just posted it. First it was with clothing, but now it's moved to other categories.
Yeah.
As much as they say it's fixed, the results are not there.
It's definitely not fixed.
Yeah, we sell a minimum of $300 worth of clothes a week. Haven't sold more than $50. DVDs and VHS tapes needed to add the studio and the star for each movie. So yeah, good morning, Noelle in California. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, look at Gate City Picker. As much as they say it's fixed, the results were not there. We sell a minimum of
I just
3.
read that. Were you not listening to me?
I'm sorry. I was busy reading somebody else's
I
comment.
just read that. She doesn't listen to me. I just read that. Okay, let's see. Karen at the beach says eBay item specifics is getting ridiculous. Sounds like they are getting rid of item description section. Huh, interesting. Carol says, I had one sale all week and I normally have around 10-ish a day. Oh my God, Carol, are you kidding? They need to do something to help people. I mean, I know the CEO resigned a couple of weeks ago, but like, who made the decision to update the servers and make changes at the beginning of Q4? I mean, people wait all year for the beginning of Q4. And I mean, this is so ridiculous that this happened.
Yeah.
I just can't even believe it. And I'm noticing it in my auctions too.
Morning,
I said to you, the last couple of auctions, I mean, people are a little bit gun shy. They haven't been bidding. They haven't been, yeah, Carol, bless you. Carol, the CEO. I agree, Carol. Donna, I replied to your comment about what I would do for you as a new CEO in Dom's group. Yes, I was just talking about that. You posted that in Dom's group. You know, it's interesting because I was talking to Rebecca last night, them flipping Crooters, before we went on live to do the auction. And her eBay, she has 2 eBay stores. Both her eBay stores, she has spent hours and hours fixing the specifics. And she told me, I don't know if Tommy is still in the chat. She said Tommy was not affected at all. Now, I have my eBay store.
Well, see, I didn't think I was affected either. But if Tommy goes in and bulk edits, I bet you he's going to get a ton of errors about missing item specifics.
Really? So
Yeah.
I haven't even checked my eBay store because I currently only have, maybe 100 items on there because, I'm doing the auctions. I'm not really active in the eBay store. James says, I have several hundred that need to be fixed. Oh, man. If you look on the mobile app, you will see how many need to be fixed. Carol.
I wonder how you look at that, Michelle. Michelle, how do you do that? What do you mean on the mobile app? Like, you know what? I don't even have it on my phone. I hate the mobile app. I really do. I can't stand it. I even use the regular desktop app on my phone. My husband uses the mobile app on his phone. I got a call block. Damn, it's 7:34 this morning. What the heck was that all about?
What's that?
A spam call.
A what?
A spam, spam.
Oh, yeah.
But it's 7:30 in the morning.
I was affected and I let it sit and all the errors went away within a couple of days. I have no errors now at all, Tommy says. That's what Rebecca said. Rebecca says he was not affected. Well, he said he was affected, but eBay fixed them. He didn't touch them. Good morning, John. Nice to see you, dear. So he said he was affected, but eBay fixed them. We fixed all that required ones. Now we have 200 plus items with recommended charges.
Morning, Don.
My sales have been good for the amount of time I put into it. Okay, Tommy. And Janaea said that she had I spoke to her this morning. She said that she had a stellar week last week on eBay. She was not affected at all. She doesn't do any clothes. She doesn't do any clothes at all. She doesn't have any clothes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Adam said it earlier too. Like, they just don't, their tech team, I think they need to fire all of their tech team and just hire, I mean, it just seems in this day and age, I don't know, for the company that they are, this is their livelihood. I mean, this has got to be affecting their revenue too. It's not just affecting ours, it's affecting theirs as well.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know. eBay stock was down 10% after this quarterly earning calls. Their earnings and growth have been flat pretty much. My question is we're all like small time people. What about all of those huge China sellers that sell on eBay and the big stores like Timberland and, all of those big stores that also Goodwill, that have huge, enormous stores on eBay? Or are these online stores that only, sell on eBay as their platform? How are they affected? I would love to, talk to one of them and see if they were affected, these big, huge clothing companies. Like my guess is that eBay is probably going in and fixing their accounts before they're touching anybody who's got 100 items or 300 items or even, 3,000 items on an eBay store, whether it's a store or not. They're taking care of the big guys, I'm sure. And there's a lot, eBay isn't the way it used to. eBay was kind of like a mom and pop selling platform years ago until all of these big, huge companies, started coming in. Like I know a lot of the people that sold years and years ago, it was kind of like a virtual like yard sale auction house, right? And then all of these big wigs came along and flooded eBay with, a lot of these China sellers and stuff. When you think about how big eBay is and how many people sell on it, we're nobody. Like we're like the little people. There's so many big people.
Yeah, I think Picker said it true too. I think that they think people won't go anywhere else as much as Macari, Posh, etc. are good platforms. They don't have the exposure eBay does. And
I agree.
I don't know. Maybe we should all step up and start a new platform. Carol.
PHFO is a huge clothing player on eBay. Yes. Yes, I've heard. Yes. I'm so embarrassed to say, but I'm behind. I have 26, so they are not active until I fix them. He must be talking to somebody else.
Yeah, I think him and Don were having a conversation because.
Oh yeah, I like Carol's idea. I wonder if anyone will start a class action lawsuit. That would be interesting.
That's not going to get me closed sold, though.
That's what kills me.
Start a new platform.
A lot of people have started new platforms, and no one is as big as eBay. eBay and Amazon are the online reselling giants. I mean, Poshmark, I know a lot of people are selling on Poshmark. It's pretty good, but are they international? Is Posh international? Do they have the capability of, do people, somebody in the chat, maybe if you could answer that, please. Is Macari international? I don't
know, but Tommy and Karen both say they love Macari. And they have good sales on it. And I've heard a lot of people talk about, I belong to Macari. I have nothing listed on Macari. And I keep saying I'm going to try because I have this perfect now. I have listed Macari.
That's the slide. Sorry, the slide is here.
Posh is in Canada and US, and Macari's here in Japan.
Is there anybody that wants to jump in with tea and a little morning discussion? Let me see if my husband can handle this. All right, he went outside. I'm the CEO of the Bottolino family. I have to handle things like making sure that the water slide people bring the water slide into the yard and put it where it's supposed to be.
So James is saying Macari is a Japanese company, actually, the parent company that started here.
Come here.
Yeah, your dog wants camera time, says Carol. Hey, Boston.
I can't lift him. He's an Australian Shepherd, and he's like 60, 65 pounds. Let me see. Oh, okay, let's see. Say hi. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. He does
Retro
that.
Daddy says, T, you will see instant sales on Macari. I got to figure to look perfectly pieced out with it, though.
There's Boston. We call him Boss with 2 S's. Say hi. Say hi. He's such a good boy. He just turned 10. Say hi. He's Denali's dog.
Hey, Sergeant Fork. He says he used to do decent on Etsy.
Look at him. He sees them in the yard. Look at his mouth. He's like, oh, who is it? Who is it? There's people. Oh, are you gonna protect us? He's gonna bark the whole time. There's intruders in the yard. And that's his ferocious bark. He's got, I don't know if you dog people, if you have, if you can hear the difference between the dog's ferocious bark and the friendly bark. Like with him, I totally, like when the kids come home and he barks, it's like his friendly bark, like, hey, you're home, ruff, ruff, ruff. And then when intruders are around the house, it's his ferocious bark. It's really deep. It comes from like way down low. He's got such a great personality. He's unbelievable. All right, they're out there trying to decide where the slide is going. I think I need to go. Do you mind?
No, not at all. Not at all. You have a day.
I know if he puts it in the wrong spot, he's going to be like, well, why weren't you out here telling him where you needed to put it? You had every opportunity, but you're online chatting with your friends all the time. That's what he'll say. They're debating. Oh, out there, T. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to go and play CEO and figure this out. Okay.
No worries. No worries.
I love you guys. We'll see you later. We'll see you later. Mwah. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. Oh God, don't mind me this morning. Anyway, yes, her dog is beautiful. Good morning, Debbie. Debbie does sales in the house. Yes, Carol, being CEO is hard. Definitely. But Carol, we could do it. A new platform. A new platform for sure. Yeah, I don't know the eBay thing, but I'm really gonna start to diversify this week, next week, and I'm just gonna keep plugging along with Macari, Etsy. Etsy. I did post a few things, but it's all vintage on Etsy, right? It's not my hair always looks perfect. It ain't perfect this morning. Trust me. Trust me, it's not. Anyway, if anybody wants to hop in, let me know. I'll shoot you over the link. But I think, Dottie, I think I might have asked you, do you list with List Perfectly? Is anybody else using List Perfectly? I'm using it from eBay to Posh. Still trying to figure it out for Macari. And I've done a couple for Etsy because it does Etsy. I think that's the only platforms. I can't remember now. I think that's it. But yeah, I'm sure you guys, I know most of you heard that I lost my aunt, and she came to live with my dad and moved her entire 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment into my dad's house. And she, now since she's gone, my dad's like, please take her stuff, please take her clothes, please take this. And I moved about 9 moving boxes of just clothes. I mean, she has clothes from when she worked on Fifth Avenue. She was the executive assistant to the vice president of Exxon for years here in New York, then they relocated to Texas. And then, thank you, Deb. But she bought good stuff too. So I got a lot of listing to do. Like, I'm using Cell Hounds, and I'm glad I'm using Cell Hounds because now I can take like pictures of like almost 100 items a day. I'm not getting 100 up, and I'm purposely not doing 100 because for some reason I think doing too much even affects the algorithm. I don't know if that's correct. I don't even know how to figure out eBay's algorithm anymore, because there was times when I was a power seller and listing. I might even still be a power seller. I don't even know. But I'm not putting as much up. More stuff, T. That's hard for you. Sorry for your loss. Thank you, Retro. Thank you, Dottie. Debbie's asking what is Cell Hound. So Cell Hound's a new app that's out there. It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. It's $150. No, I'm sorry. It's $215 or $16 a month to have them list 150 pieces of clothes. When I tell you I need help listing 150 pieces of clothes, I'm actually doing it twice. I'm doing it on mine and my husband's. So we have 2 subscriptions. So I'm spending over $400 a month. I know it sounds like a lot of money to list $300 in clothes, but I have to take a front picture, a back picture, a picture of the label, a picture of most of the time the label even has the size, the garment content, and the wash instructions. And then I take a picture of pit to pit, armpit to armpit, and length, and I just hit send. I don't have to research. I don't have to create the listing. I don't have to worry about keywords, nothing. And it comes back, and I just have to hit list to eBay. Now, my husband, he's in charge of that. And I don't just do list to eBay. He adds $2 to whatever price they come back with to cover the $1.40 that they're charging for every listing. When I tell you that if you looked at my sales over the last 2 months, more than 70% is sold from what we sent to Sellhound. It's well worth it. And I'm not getting any extra. I'm not promoted by Sellhound. I don't get no VIG or anything from Sellhound. I think they pick the right keywords. I think they price it correctly. Everything I'm including shipping. I used to do free shipping on all my clothes. Now I'm charging shipping because I'm doing free returns. And if they return it, then they've already paid the shipping at least going. If I got to pay it going back, and half the time, like if we charge $7.95 and I get it into a padded flat for $7.33, you're making a few cents on that. Or if it's something that's just 2 pounds and calculated shipping, they figure it out to be $10, but I really only pay $8. I make $2 on that, whatever the case may be. So I am definitely making my money back, Deb. Definitely. It wasn't James. So great question. James is asking, is Sellhound working with the new item specifics? It wasn't the first day. I couldn't figure out why it kept saying eBay won't let me post this listing with all the listings that were coming back. And that was the day that the glitch first started happening. So I just sent Sellhound a message that there was something wrong with their listings because I couldn't get them to post to eBay, not knowing that eBay had the issue and not Sellhound. They fixed their issue within a day. So anything new going up now at Sellhound is completely correct. Completely. Adam says, yes, Suzanne is the CEO, is a sharp business person. And yeah, Deb's asking, is it just for clothes? It's for clothes and accessories. So you can do clothes, shoes, belts, pocketbooks, scarves, hats. They are going to branch out. I think someone said that when they first came out originally, they did have other other items, and then they scaled back, and now they may go, I wish they did other stuff, because when I tell you it is so easy with just taking pictures, you don't have to type anything, you don't have to do the research. I wish they would add a pay by listing option for Sellhound. I would use it. Yeah, and you know what? I wish I had more capital to work with, because they just came out with a special that if you sign up before the end of the month, like you could sign up right now and it goes into effect immediately, but you have to take 1,000 listings and it's $1,000. And I know that sounds steep, but when you figure it out, 150 listings at $2.15, that's more expensive. It's $1.40 a listing. So $1 a listing is so cheap. I really would be tempted, but I'd really be burning through my capital. I really, I'd put it, now with me not working, I got to be really careful. And I could do it. My husband will just be mad, like I'm moving money where I shouldn't be moving money. So, but I could do it. And to get 1,000 listings between now and the end of the year, when I tell you the clothes that I'm staring at right now. Yeah, my aunt was a clothes hoarder. She absolutely was a clothes hoarder, for sure, for sure, for sure. And you know what? Her stuff's in great condition. It's not even like, there were 150 pieces already in the Goodwill bag because she kept things from 1970. And, the stains just didn't come out, or they were just yellowed or whatever. but she bought really good stuff, really good stuff. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of fur vests and leather jackets and, jeans. She was hip for the time too. She was very slim and slender and tall. So, she was like my height, but like very, very skinny. So she could pull a lot of good clothes off. And she bought all in the boutiques in Manhattan and stuff like that. Yeah, James says you can use it on any clothing, but for lower end items, it wouldn't be worth it. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Myra. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Now you can use it. Okay. For me, hard goods are much easier to list than clothes. Yes, but that's why I'm enjoying Sell Hounds, because it's not really, I mean, technically, I take the front of the garment, the back of the garment, the tag, the washing instructions, material, and then, if there's any special, bling or things like that. And then I just do the measurements, but I take pictures of the measurements, so I don't have to worry about typing in any item specifics. They do it all. They really do. And they do great descriptions. The only thing, a lot of people disagree with the way they do their descriptions. And again, I'm not seeing it. If anything, I'm selling more of the clothes that I list with Sellhound than I am with clothes that I had listed on my own. They put the size at the end. So if you read, and I'll read one of the, like, for example, of one of the descriptions of something they brought back. So Jenny and Marlis women's layered blouse, turquoise short sleeve scoop crocheted top, M for medium. And basically, you guys are never going to see this. I don't even know why I'm going to try, but let's see if I can. This is how it comes. No, it's going to be, my room is too sunny here. There's no way you're going to see it. No way you're going to see it. All right. But basically, in the description, it tells you style, blouse, material, 100% polyester, country, region of manufacture, Vietnam, colored turquoise, pattern, solid, sleeve length, short sleeve, neckline, scoop neck, special feature, layered, decorative, crochet. And then they just add sold as pictures. Thanks for looking. And then you can click on item specifics, and they fill in the whole thing for item specifics, brand, Jenny and Marlis, size type, regular, size medium, style, blouse, dressy top, 100% polyester. They just go down in all the items specifics, sleeve ends above elbow. I mean, they put all this stuff in there that you don't have to do. It just makes me be able to list more and quicker. And again, I know everybody doesn't have the availability to, spend $215, $16 a month to do that. But I reinvest in the business. It was easier when I was working full time, because everything in the business I reinvested, whether it was in inventory, sourcing, or, list perfectly, or now Sellhound. But I'm going to continue to do it. I'm definitely going to continue to do it. It's just, it's in the long run, it's paying. It's definitely paying for me. And the list perfectly thing, I jumped the gun maybe a little bit on it, because I got a discount the first month, and now I paid full price for this month, and it's not cheap. It's $69 a month. So when you start to add this stuff up, $216 plus $69 plus my anchor store at $299, and all said and done, it does get expensive. So your fees at the end of the month, land up being $1,000 or more. And with the way the sales have been lately, it's not a lot of profit in there. So eBay got to get their act together. I'll definitely be using List Perfectly a lot more. Even though I can use, anything I create in Sellhound, I can take from eBay and push over to Posh and Macari and Etsy if I have to. And I will do that. I definitely will do that, because Myra's asking how many stores. So I have 2 stores, and I use my son's free 50 listing account a month, mostly for auctions. I don't do auctions on my store, my husband's store. So I just upgraded last month my husband from a basic store to the premier store. And I did that because he was well over 250. I think you're capped at 250 on the smaller store than although there's so many different stores now. I just saw yesterday they have like, the starter store and everything, because my subscription this month is up for my anchor store. And I seriously thought about scaling it back to a premium store again. But I don't think that'll motivate me enough to get back up to, 7,000, 8,000 listings like I had before. Because right now I'm only up to about, oh gosh, I'm not even sure off the top of my head, maybe 2,200. Once you get to a certain point, it doesn't pay to have a premium store. I think it might be up to 3,000, but I want to make sure I have a motivation to move those listings up. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh, it's fine. I don't have to list more. I want to list more. Mark's saying List Perfectly has different tiers. Okay, I'll have to look into that because, yeah, I might want to scale back since I'm only been cross-posting on Mercari. And, I don't even really have to do Etsy, but I'd like to do Mercari. Poshmark, rather. I'd like to do Mercari. I would definitely like to do Mercari. Yeah, basic to premium, I did for my husband's store. I went from a basic store for him to a premium store. But he's up to like 800 listings. So, he'll be at 1,000 by the end of the month, especially with the clothes I'm staring at. So for sure, he'll be at his 1,000 for a premium store. It definitely pays to have his store as a premium store. I was just debating on if I should downgrade mine to a premium store with 2,200. But I think I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave it at the anchor. I like the customer service with the anchor store too. I call and I get, immediate US based person on the phone. It's, it's a little different. And they do, pick up the phone. So it is a little bit nicer, so to speak. All right, guys. Well, it is 10 or the top of the hour, I should say. We need YouTube time, right, to kind of tell us we are at the top of the hour. And I want to thank everybody for coming in this morning. We kind of went from one topic to the other, right? We went from working from home and respectfulness of other people, realizing that you are working where people don't think you're working, to the glitches in eBay, to Sellhound, to List Perfectly. But it's all good. It's all reselling talk. And I don't enter the measurements, James. Just seeing James. No, I don't edit my photos. I don't do any of that. So I don't spend, later on when I go and let's say I'm doing maintenance on my store, I might go in and move pictures around. I may crop a picture a little bit better or change some, but I haven't done it on anything I've listed through Sellhound. And when I tell you for sure, 100%, my sales there are killing it compared to my regular sales. Let's just say in the last 2 months, I listed 300 Sellhound items. I probably sold 70% of them over the last 2 months compared to clothes that have been up there for whatever. Now, is it because my keywords aren't good? Is it because my titles, my descriptions, am I not priced correctly? I do go in and check that stuff, but I think they've got that. I think they got that skill down. I just think, you pay for a service, and I think it's worth it. For me, it's been worth it. So. Go to eBay Open, only cost you $2,000 and you get Adam. No, yes, they do. They put them in. I don't put them in. I take the pictures, they fill them in the specifics, and the pictures are there. Yeah, I did stop doing measurements myself and got, either returns or it was, people just being, I swear people stalk people that don't have measurements. Like I have probably still 100 or 200 clothes items up that don't have measurements. And out of my 2,200 listings, I still swear they go and they seek out, they're stalkers on eBay, and they go in, they say, where doesn't she have measurements? Let me ask a ton of questions so I can annoy her. Oh, but I don't know. I just, because those are the people that never buy it. Once in a while, I'll get somebody, oh, thanks, that's too big for me, or thanks, that's too tight for me. And somebody asked me, I had all all kinds of measurements up, except, I might have said it was boot cut, but they wanted the actual measurement of the hem. And I want to say it was like 9, which was 18 inches around or something. And they were like, "Oh, thanks, that's too tight for me." I'm like, "You must have some really fat ankles if 18 inches on the bottom of the cuff is too." And we weren't talking about a big pair of pants. We were talking maybe about a size 12 or something. So I was like, okay. All right, Adam, have a great day. Yes, we're going to call it. We're up an hour. I appreciate you guys, as always, stopping in to say hi, a little coffee and chat. We're here again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Let me know if anybody wants to come on, always willing to, have somebody on, talk about something specific. If there's a topic you guys are interested, you just want to come on and get your face out there, put a face to the name. I'd be happy to send you guys the link. So let me know. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow, and everybody have a great day. Bye, guys.